Welcome to globaletraining.com. Globaletraining.com offers online courses covering various software technologies. New courses are added on a regular basis. You can email us at training@globaletraining.com or you can call us at 732-588-6564. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the video series on vbscripting. This video is on loops, but this is divided into two parts. Part 1 covers writing loops with do while and do until, and part 2 of the loops will cover the for command. So let's start with a very basic do loop, and it goes like this: do something. Let me put do something just for the sake of commenting. Do something and loop. So whatever is in here, any statements you might have, it gets looped forever. So let's say, for example, I put this line in there. So let me take this out. So I'm saying do this work and loop. So it's a infinite loop. It continuously loops through that code. Let me run that script and show you how it behaves. So I'm in the loop. That's what we're getting here. Okay, in the loop. So this will go forever. It doesn't matter how many times you click, you get the message back. The only way to end the script is to go to the task manager and actually kill it from there. And the vbscript is executed or interpreted by wscript.exe. So let's kill that. That should take away that prompt. So, and to kind of give you a good demonstration, let me do this dim a and let's say a equal to 0, and here within the loop what I'll do is I'll increment it. I'll increment it because it's 0, so the first time it goes in it's 1, so a equal to a plus 1, and here I'll just include that in there. So let me run the script. You'll see the number, so it kind of easy to follow. False. Oh, my bad. Let me go ahead and kill it. What's happening here is it says a is equal to 1. This expression, the way this is working is here I've defined a is equal to 0, so this becomes 0, and then says equal to 0 equal to 1. 0 is equal to 1 is false, then a is getting false, so that's the reason why you keep seeing false. And my intention was to put a plus sign there, so I'm incrementing a every time it goes into the loop. So let me run the same script. So what I see is 1, I'm in the loop, 2, I'm in the loop, and for every click, it's going in and executing the statements that are between do and loop, and I'm using a and I'm incrementing it using line 18. So it doesn't matter how many times you click, it will continue to display the message. So as I said, the only way to kill this is to go to Task Manager and look for wscript and kill it. So it's gone. So now that we have seen it, let me do something. Let me add something called wscript.quit. this wscript dot quit is actually telling the wscript interpreter to quit running. So if I were to do, or I mean to say run the script, so it, number one, so it went in the first time, do OK, it's gone because it's completely quitting the script. And to demonstrate exit do, let me do another message line here, and I'm going to say that I am outside the loop. So let me go ahead and run it real quick. 1, I'm in the loop, quit, it's gone. So it's completely quitting the script. I mean, when you write scripts in real world, I mean, you'll definitely run into situations where you might want to exit out of the script when certain condition is met, and this is how you do it. And if you do exit do, so you're specifically saying that, exit, do right after this statement. So what happens is it will exit and continue executing the rest of the script. Let me go ahead and run it. Let me save it first. 1, I'm in the loop, I'm outside the loop, went in there, and so it added, incremented a by 1, displayed this message, came to this line, it knows that you need to exit the loop, and went here. And we can do a little bit interesting stuff here. We can also add an if statement, say if a is equal to 5, then exit. This is what I want to do, and if I want to end if there. So all I'm doing here is if it's not case sensitive, just out of habit I have caps I, but so I'm saying if is equal to 5, that's when it'll go inside the loop, I mean to say inside the if condition, and exit the do loop itself. So technically we should see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we should also see 5, and then after that the condition is met, it should exit, and we shouldn't see 6. So it will be it will loop 5 times. Let me go ahead and run the script. Okay, 1, I'm in the loop, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now when I do OK, this line gets executed because 5, which is it's true, 5 is equal to 5, then it will exit the loop and then display this message, I'm outside the loop. So that's a basic introduction into a do. Now let's go a little deeper, look at a do while and do until. So the next example we'll talk about do until, and again it's very simple script. I just declared a variable and assigned a value of 1, and it says do until a equal to 5. So the way this works is until and while is kind of a little bit confusing for many people, but once you get a hang of it, it's actually simple, nothing difficult. Here all I'm saying is exit if it is true. That's what it means. That means until this condition is met, keep looping until that is met. Once it is met, then you can exit the loop. That's what it means. So starting with a as 1 and I'm incrementing here, that means until it is 5, that means it will display the message 4 times, and the 5th time it will fail. That means it will exit that loop. Let's go ahead and run the script. So equal to 1, I'm displaying the message of line 16. So it started with a is 1, and then I incremented on 17, and I used a here, that's why you see 2. So that's technically the first message or the first round. Then have a equal to 2, I mean it's going inside, then it's incremented, you see 3 there, 3, it's incremented, now it's 4, it's equal to 4, now it's 5, it's incremented. Now After it's incremented, it goes back. Now since a is equal to 5, which is true, then it should exit. It's done. So it's very simple. Until this condition is met, go ahead and loop. That's what it really means. So once the condition is met, that means exit on true. Once this condition is true, then it will exit the loop. So that's about do until. Let's go ahead and look at do while. Same script, made very minor changes. It says while a is less than 5. So while this condition is true, do this. So what does that mean? If you, on the flip side, it's saying that exit when false, meaning if this condition fails, that's when you exit. On the other side, you're saying exit when the condition is true, and here it is exit when the condition is false. And again, it kind of tells from while, say, hey, while this condition is true, do something. That's what it means. So let's go ahead and run this third script. Is equal to 1. And so it took 1 and displayed it, incremented 1, a by 1, so it becomes 2. I'm using that 2 to display the message on line 20. A is equal to 2, is 4, so this is 4. Now A came inside as A as 4 because that's where it's displaying that message. On line 19 it increments it by 1, and then I'm using that to display the value of A and then display this message. Now on the next loop, now A is 5, it goes there, it says while A 5 less than 5, which is false because A is equal to 5. So 5 is equal to 5, not 5 less than 5. That's false statement. So it exits the loop. So while is used to loop through the statements until the condition is true. So I mean to say while the condition is true. Once the condition fails, then it'll exit the loop. So it kind of a little bit confusing, but once you actually write a script by yourself, get a hang of it, play with changing numbers, change 5 to 10 and see what happens, and increment it by 2, see what happens, and start A from given a value of 10 for A, and then use, instead of 5, use 50, increment it by 5. Just play with the numbers and get a hang of it, and it only takes about 5-10 minutes to get a good grasp of this do while and do until. So that's another style of looping. Let me show you with that more statements, because these were pretty much the first 3 scripts were pretty bare bones, strictly the loops, trying to understand what it is. If we add more to the script, it kind of looks it as like 37 lines. It's really not that. We have a bunch of comments at the top, option explicit, then the title. I have some variables, and I have a message saying about to start the first do loop. I only have one here. I used to have the second, but that's fine. Do loop, and it's gonna loop here, and then it says exit the script, just to demonstrate this again in this script. Instead of saying you'll never see scripts in production in the real time where A equal to 1, B equal to 1. You'll not see that. You'll actually see the actual values or the proper description for the variables. So I took it up one notch and I kind of gave you a little bit of descriptions to the variables. I said my loop and my num. Loop is 1, num is 5. So here what happens is it will display this message, and then it says while my num is greater than 0. My num starts with what? 5. So it's starting with 5. So 5 greater than 0, which is true. So as we know, while will loop through the statements until, as long as it is true. So 5 greater than 0, which is true, then it'll execute these commands inside the do loop. And with my num, I'm decrementing by 1, meaning it comes with 5 inside, then it goes down by 1. So it becomes 4. Then in the next round, it's 4 greater than 0, true. Then 4 becomes 3, 3 greater than 0. So it loops through until the condition is met, meaning, once the statement is false, once it goes to 0, that means 0 greater than 0, we know it's false, and it'll exit this loop. Let's go ahead and run this real quick. How about to start the first do loop? That's coming from line 22. It says current value of my num is 5. That's from line 27. And it says current value of my loop equal to 1. So that's a first loop, and the value is 5. Then things have changed in line 28 and 29. And line 30 displays that now the new values are 4 and 2. Now it's the same thing coming from 31. The current value is 4 and 2. 4 is my num because it was decremented before, and then my loop got incremented. That was the current values. Now after line 28 and 29, I incremented those values. My num was decremented and my loop was incremented by 1. 2 more messages. Current, now it got my num was decremented by 1. Now it's 2. This got incremented. So one more time. Now the new value of my num is 1. So looping again. Now it says my new value of my num is 0. That's coming from line 30. Now once it is 0, when it goes round and try to loop one more time, the condition is that it says while my num is greater than 0, but my num now it is 0. 0 greater than 0, which is incorrect because 0 is equal to 0. So now the condition is false, and it will exit from the loop. So now we have the value of my loop is 6, value of my num, that's coming from line 30. Now it's going to start that loop with my num as 0, and it's out of the loop. It's saying outside the do loop. That's coming from 1, that is line 35. So it exited once the my num value reached 0, and now the condition is false because my num is no more is greater than 0, so it exited the loop. So it came here, ran this line 35, displayed you this message, and right below that 36 it says quit. Okay, so this anything after line 36, it doesn't matter how many lines you have, it will they will never be executed. So little bit of there's no difference between this script 3 and 4. It's just that instead of some descriptive variable, I used a, and I kind of added more comments, I added more lines into the do loop, and kind of gave a little more message box descriptive messages to display it to the user. That's the only thing I did. And VBCR will kind of add new line character to your output. So this will be on one line and this will be on the other line as you were seeing before. So that's about this script. Let's see, we have one more script to review. Now in this script, again, it's do until. It's same as this, but instead of having, it kind of looks like a bare bone, very minimum, very very little things that you need to run, kind of demonstrate until, do until command or loop. In this, what I did was I added descriptive variables. Variables are a little bit descriptive, and added bunch of message statements here to kind of demonstrate the same thing. Let me go ahead and run this script. It says about to start the do loop with until. That's line 22. Now 105, and the condition here is until my loop is equal to 5. So once this condition is met, it will exit the loop. So my value is start with 0, and I'll click through it. My loop is 2 now, it's 3 now, it's 4 now, new value is 5. So it looped through 5 times, and now the new value is 5. That's coming from line 29. Click through it. This is coming from 30. I'm looping, and now if I do OK, it'll exit. And that is because my loop variable, that value, got incremented to 5. Now 5 is equal to 5, which is true, and the until loop will exit once the condition is met. So again, kind of looks quite a bit of lines here, but if you look at this, it's exactly the same thing. All I did was, instead of starting with 1 and incrementing, I'm doing a little bit different. I'm using my num and decrementing it, but in the my loop I'm incrementing it. I'm like using two variables to demonstrate the same thing. Okay, you might want to rewind and watch the video one more time to get a better understanding of the do loops, do while and do until. And okay, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I will see you in the next video, and we'll talk about for loops there. Okay, until then, bye.